Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and we're talking loan deal for Mason Greenwood. United after two Onanas and also CAICEDO. Chelsea now making moves for CAICEDO. What are we doing? What are we doing as a football club? Just sat there like a bloody snail at a funeral. It's got to move. We've got to move quicker. We've got to. But look, we're going to start off. Mason Greenwood. This is coming in from The Sun. His £15,000 a month mansion is on the market for a loan deal or a rental, whatever you want to call it. And this is believed to be an indicator that Mason Greenwood is about to leave Manchester United on loan, with Italian clubs and Turkish clubs interested. Logically, this makes the most sense. I know there'll be people out there ecstatic by this. There'll be people out there who are not. I don't like it when I look on social media or even in the United Stand community and I see people going head to head on bring back my star boy Greenwood and other people saying I don't want him anywhere near the shirt. And it's almost like you're antagonising each other, and you see it on social media. We're meant to be a fan base of a football club, and whilst we do have people in our fan base that try and break this fan base apart purposely, and you can have opinion that does that, you know, I have opinions that people don't agree with. I think purposely going out to antagonise and target other United fans is a bit sad, because we've got more than enough issues above in relation to who owns our club that we should be trying to work together. We're stronger as one. But look, I think the logical path for Mason Greenwood from a mental health point of view, from a football point of view, and from a media point of view is to go and play football outside of England for a year. It is, you know, how much abuse he'll get will be ridiculous from the media, from fans, from our own fans. So he's got to think of his own mental health. He's got to focus on his football. If he wants a path back to Manchester United or high-level football, then, because he'll probably never play for England again. That, not my words. That was I can't remember what journalist said that a few months ago. Probably never plays for England again. But if he wants a path back to high-level football, he's got to play high-level football. And if he wants to do that, he needs to focus on his football. And it's absolutely correct that he, as an individual, looks to go and play football where he can focus on his football and not be looking at or hearing the abuse that he would get if he tried to play in England in August. From a Manchester United point of view, again, he's an asset. Who knows what that asset develops into? But you certainly don't want to go, get out of our club, you're not worth anything. They might do that. I'd be very surprised if they did, but they might do that. But certainly, even if the long-term aim is to remove Mason Greenwood, you want to do that with a bit of money. And in a year's time, he's got a year left on his contract. So, look, the logical thing is a loan deal. I actually think if I had to percentage this, 90% of me says we'll loan him out, because any other option, I just think, is a massive risk. Letting him go for nothing, playing him, I think the loan deal is obvious, and I think it's the right thing to do. And I think, you know, I know there's people out there that just want him to play. I think I have to respect it. I don't have to agree with it. I think it's massively naive. I mean, he hasn't played football in 18 months. There are people in that dressing room that have an issue with him. You're gonna drop him into a very turbulent Man United side with transfer mess and ownership mess. He's not played in ages. The frustration of him falling behind, you know, I just think it's not the right move, and you're certainly not going to get the Mason Greenwood you saw 18 months ago in August, September or October. It could take him a bit of time. It could take him till Christmas to get anywhere near that, because he just hasn't been playing competitive football. So yeah, I think it's the right thing to do to loan him, and hopefully this is an indication of that happening. Interesting, let's talk about the Onanas. So David Ornstein, last night, I saw, I can't remember who put it out there, but David Ornstein said that Onana of Everton is on Manchester United's radar. And I thought, oh no, this must be a mix-up because we're in for Inter Milan Onana. And actually, no, Onana is a player that we've looked at in the past and is apparently a player looking at now. It was interesting to see the opposition to this, because they were like, not good enough, not glamorous enough. But we've spoken about Onana of Everton a few times. Very powerful midfielder. Not had a great debut season at Everton, but when he's played well, he has played well. And I think he's only 21. I don't think he's 22 until August. So if Ten Hag saw that player and went, yes, I think there's something there, I'd be massively intrigued by that. I don't think we go for him. And the reason I don't think we'll go for him is because Everton didn't get relegated. They paid £33 million for him last year. He's only been there a year. they're going to want some level of profit. Would they do a deal for 40 million? Is that too much for a player like that? So I don't see United doing it, because again, I think the negotiations of the price would be an issue. But look, that type of a player for me would be really interesting if it's a player that Ten Hag wants. We definitely need that type of a midfielder. And you know, I was saying this on Twitter today, you know, the Mason Mount deal, and like, we're clearly going to get, if we want to get him, we're going to pay over the odds, so we should walk. And it's sad on Mason Mount's part, and it's annoying from Ten Hag's part, but you've got to walk because we don't have a massive budget. And I think that, I said this on Twitter and I wanted to put it on this video because I wanted you to get in the comments and tell me your thoughts. I actually think we should walk, and I actually think we should find the money to get CAICEDO, because we walk from Chelsea, which is one swivel on it, and then we sign CAICEDO, who they want, which is another swivel on it. And we should win the CAICEDO race because apparently he supports Manchester United. But more importantly, we're in the Champions League. We're Manchester United. They're Chelsea. They're not in Europe. And we've got a, you know, we've got a more... I mean, I think we forget this because of how bad we are in the transfer window. We are in a better position than Chelsea. We are in the Champions League. They are not even in the Conference League. So we should be able to go to Brighton and CAICEDO and say, there's the money, we want the player, and he should want to come to us. And that would be a massive swivel on it to Chelsea, because if they'd given us Mount, we wouldn't have gone for CAICEDO. But I'm not interested in that. And I do think Chelsea will win with CAICEDO because, I mean, they're not even in Europe and they'll still beat us because we're crap at negotiations. But last season, Ten Hag wanted Timber and he didn't get him, and he got Martinez. And that always plays on my mind, because I'm like, if he'd got his number one choice, how does that even work? Timber's right-footed. The brilliance of Martinez has been the balance of his left foot, left-sided centre-back. We wanted Timber. How was that going to work? Who was going to be the left-sided centre-back? Maguire. I mean, can you imagine a season of Maguire at left-sided centre-back with Timber? It would have been a bloody joke. I mean, I'm not saying it would have been a disaster, but it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good as Martinez and Varane, which was, I mean, look, Martinez and Varane are on a different planet to Timber and Maguire as a centre-back partnership. And yet, Ten Hag wanted Timber. So in this instance, Ten Hag wants Mount. If you swivel and go for CAICEDO, I think it's got the... I actually think CAICEDO suits us and the needs of this team more than Mason Mount does at the moment. And I think that could be our Timber to Martinez shift. It could be Mount to CAICEDO. And I actually think it would... You know, I think we'll get Mount. I think he'll do well. And I haven't got a problem with his signing Mason Mount. But I actually will not lie. I think if we went for CAICEDO instead of Mount, he would suit us better and we'd be a better side for it. They're not similar. That's why. Timber and Martinez are not similar. One's left-footed, one's right-footed. It makes a big difference to your back four. And CAICEDO is very different to Mason Mount, and I think he would make a massive difference. If I had to choose between Mount and CAICEDO, and that's the only signing we're making this summer, I'll go CAICEDO. So, yeah, don't know what your thoughts are on that. Going back to Onana, but this time the Inter goalkeeper. Really interesting what's happening here. Fabrizio's come out and said, Fabrizio Romano, that talk of Onana changing his agent is wide of the mark. His current agent remains his agent, and that agent actually held talks with Manchester United last week. So change of agent, probably not true. But interesting, Man United could play this quite well. There's not many big teams looking for goalkeepers. There's not. There isn't. Chelsea potentially want a goalkeeper. Spurs want a goalkeeper. But nobody else in the Premier League who's a top team is looking for a goalkeeper. And I don't think anybody in Europe is looking for a goalkeeper either. None of the top teams. Certainly not Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich. So the goalkeeper market is very, very good. Now, Porto are a bit disappointed that United have shifted to Onana from Costa. This could play into our hands, because if you've got two goalkeepers, and look, Beth did the show yesterday. There are, you know, they're both credible options. United could play a clever game here. They could actually, you know, play one off against the other and bring the price down and get a really good goalkeeper. So keep your eye on that. And there are, look, I saw it on Twitter. What I don't know whether this is true. I don't think it is true. But what United must not do with the goalkeeper situation, because Lindelof has been linked to Spain and Italy in the past. We cannot do a deal for Onana involving Lindelof. That would be criminal. You know, if we're going to remove players from the team this year, do not remove players from the team that are good players. Like, get rid of this shit. What's the point in getting an Onana in goal and then losing your third best centre-back? It's stupid to do that, because all that happens is Maguire stays, does another year of I've got nothing to prove interviews. We have another year of every other week they're asking about Maguire in the press conference. We need to move on. And I don't want to see Lindelof go as part of a deal to bring a goalkeeper in, or Wan-Bissaka or anybody else that's actually a firm fixture in our first team plans. So I don't want to see that. But it's interesting, the goalkeeper situation. I was going to do a Twitter thread about this. I probably will. But what game you need to be playing in your mind when you're thinking about this transfer window is 200 million. How do you spend your 200 million? Because if you spend 40 on a goalkeeper and you spend 60 on Mason Mount, that's 100 gone already. You still need another midfielder. You haven't got your striker yet, and apparently we want a centre-back. Well, you're not getting those three with £100 million left. If you don't get a goalkeeper and you keep David De Gea and you spend 60 on Mount, you've got £140 million left to get a striker, another midfielder, and a centre-back. Ultimately, I think we've got 4 players that we can buy with 200 million. Unless you go and get a free transfer like a Rabiot, which doesn't look likely anymore. So the way I'm thinking at the moment, and the way United are thinking, because it's so chaotic, is you've got 200 million, 210 million, whatever, somewhere around 200 million to spend. And you've got 4 players to buy, because you can't really get 5 out of 200 million unless you're getting free transfers. The striker's going to have to be Mawani or Højlund. I would like both, but it's going to have to be. Mount, we know we're all in on. God knows what the other midfielder looks like. Maybe it is Onana, maybe it is CAICEDO, maybe it is Rice. Centre-back, Monaco centre-back probably, and the goalkeeper. But when you add it all up together, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, you can see why it's chaotic at United at the moment. But look, going back to Mason Greenwood, at least we get some resolution on that. Because at the moment, and I'm not going to call them problems, there are many things that United need to do, and they're all just being swept in the corner. Let's start working through some of these solutions. Anyway, smash a like on the video. Lots for you to get involved in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll be back again at 8 o'clock. Speak to you then. Thanks for watching. See you later. I'm off to the hot tub.